what makes successful people stand out? What really sets them apart from everybody else? Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Amy. I'm sure you're very curious and often wonder about what sets successful people apart. What habits do they master that allows them to be so successful and achieve the things that they set out to achieve? Well, from all the self-development content that I've absorbed, I have been able to pick up on 3 habits that all successful people have in common in one way or another. And if you can learn to adopt and master these 3 key habits, I can almost guarantee that you'll achieve success in your own way too. So keep watching to find out. The 3 habits are to be proactive, to break your goals down into smaller steps, and to practice gratitude or to use what you already have. So let's discuss the first one. It's to be proactive. And the first time I saw this was in Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, although I've seen it repeated in successful people's stories and in other books, maybe just said a little bit differently. Basically, most or all successful people didn't get handed their success, their opportunities. They very likely had to overcome obstacles, overcome difficulties, adapt, and learn. And they didn't make that somebody else's problem. They took the responsibility to do that. So if something was stopping them, they found a way around it. If they didn't know something, they tried to learn it as best they could. If they weren't well connected to other people, they would connect themselves with people. Successful people, people like Usain Bolt, people like Oprah Winfrey, and on and on and on. If you look into their backstories, you will see that they had to overcome adversity over adversity. And what you can see here is the ability to take control over what they could control and to keep going despite the obstacles. They didn't sit back and wait for things to happen. They made it happen. They took that control into their own hands, and they still do that, and that is why they saw the kind of success that they did. So I feel like the lesson to really take from here in a habit of being proactive is no matter the obstacle, don't let that be something that holds you back. Find a way to work through it. The second habit is breaking goals down into smaller steps. Most successful people didn't just have an ideal or an aspiration and then they took one step and they got there. They may have had an aspiration, they may have had a goal. They were able to break it down so much so that they had many steps until they got to that goal, and maybe even once they got there, they were able to exceed that goal. So they didn't make one massive leap, they made many small, consistent strides over time. They kept showing up until they continued to see progress. And again, I think if you look into anybody's story like Richard Branson, you'll see that he started actually by launching a student magazine. That was his first initial step, although there was probably steps even before that. And then he launched a mail order record business. This was another stepping stone to allow him to understand things and how to run a business. It's really this gradual growth that teaches you so much. I can even think of a hero of mine, Sally McRae. She does ultra marathons, so she runs 200 miles and upwards. And obviously that's an insane and wonderfully amazing goal to achieve. And if you pay any close attention to her, you'll notice that she just breaks that huge goal of running 200 miles down week to week, day to day, mindset to mindset. She doesn't just arrive at the start line hoping for the best. She has planned every step up until that start line. And so once she's there, she almost has the most faith that anything that's thrown her way, she'll be able to handle. And lastly, the third habit of successful people is that they are grateful for what they already have. And you'll notice in the first habit I mentioned, a lot of successful people come from really difficult, really challenging backgrounds, and yet still they manage to find gratitude for the resources they do have. And in saying that, they're incredibly resourceful in using that to be leveraged in achieving success. So before they even work to change their reality, they use their current resources as a springboard to really help them improve. I think a great example of this is Jan Koum. I hope that I've said that name correctly. I did try and practice how to say it, but I'm still not sure if I've gotten it. And he is the co-founder of WhatsApp. He was born in a small Ukrainian town where he didn't grow up with the most. And yet, he has said before that he was really grateful to be able to learn to code on second-hand computers. I think it's very easy for people to want to do something, to have a goal, and think they don't have the finances to do that. They don't have all the equipment to do that. I think it's a great mindset to really think about what you do have, to take the responsibility to do it, to break it down, and just to use what you've already got. So I've used those 3 habits all in one. So really think about that. Think about a goal you have and think about what you already have that you can use. So there you have it. 3 habits that you can practice that all successful people have in common. They are proactive, or they take responsibility. They break their goals down into smaller steps, and they're grateful for what they already have, and they use what they already have. So based on that, I have a question for you that maybe you can reflect on and apply in your own life and whatever goal or aspiration you have. What can you do in the next hour that will bring you one step closer to your aspirations, to your dream, to your goal? Do you see how that's up to you? You're being proactive. That is breaking your goal down into a step. You're breaking it down into 1 hour, and you're using what you already have. You're practicing gratitude. You're aware of the resources you already have. So if you want to, you can leave a comment down below on what you want to do in the next hour. I think that's a very useful question, and it's something you can ask yourself repeatedly. If you are stuck and you get in a bit of a rut as you're working towards something, just stop yourself and reflect on the question, what is one thing I can do in the next hour that will bring me one step closer to what I want to achieve? And then go ahead and do that. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. I enjoyed making it and I enjoyed thinking about it. So leave any comments or questions down below and I'd love to hear from you.